Hey, check out the Moms Playboy. I'm back. In this video, I'm reacting to another Kevin Samuels video. Before I get into the video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. The channel has blown up. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. Help us get there by subscribing to our channel. All right. This video is titled 33-year-old woman thinks that men lack patience. Okay. Let's get right into it.
The fact that this is what they think. Hello.
Hi. I
How
was
are you?
not expecting that. I'm sorry. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I had to think about this for a second. I'm 39 this year.
39. Are you single or are you married?
No, I was married. I'm divorced.
All right. So talking about sharing men, especially
Yes.
over 35. What do you think?
I think you are completely accurate because you have to be realistic. I mean, when you talk about children, your energy has to be there. When you talk about a career to provide, your energy is there. You have to have time for your wellness, which means your meal prep, your gym time, and you don't have many hours left to give. That's not.
So I think it's funny that so many women today don't realize that what they're really offering to men is so sparse. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
33.
33. So you're almost at the deciding age. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
Any children?
I have one.
How old?
5.
So, will you be down to share after 35?
I think living in today's world, yeah.
Now, what's different about
Definitely.
today's world than yesterday's world?
I feel that the women today are a little bit more desperate and the guys are a little bit less patient. So it's a challenge for the women that want to have a man just to themselves. I feel like it's more of
The women are more desperate and the men are less patient. Ma'am, how long have you been watching my program?
my mom tagged me in one of your videos. She's the one that watches you all the time.
So have you ever watched it? What you'll probably find when you go back and watch it is women really don't want relationships today.
That's the thing.
But you said they're desperate. Desperate for what?
Sex.
They can have sex. Why would a woman ever be desperate for sex?
Good point.
All you gotta do is walk out. You can get sex. You said women are desperate and men are less patient. Women are desperate for sex?
Yes.
What do you think, 39? You think she's got something here? Because I'm not understanding.
I don't know if you can generalize and say that women are desperate for sex. I think some people could be desperate for sex.
I don't think women are desperate. I don't think women are
it's
desperate for anything. I think women believe, and I think the videos have shown that women think they got all the time in the world. They can get whatever they want. All they gotta do is manifest and wish upon a star. That's why they're not willing to settle.
I've been single since I've had my son. I haven't been in any relationship.
Okay, but the market is what it is. So the reason I asked, you said in today's time, and what's different about today's time than yesteryear? Let me ask you this question. When on the face of the planet have women had men who are in the top 20%, top 10% all to themselves ever? What country, what system of government, what system of, what monetary system? Where?
I think it's always been since like forever.
Did women have had men to themselves?
No, it's just more common. It's more common now. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, ma'am, it's not. It's less common now.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Wait. Okay. So
listen. Would you happen to be a Christian?
yeah.
Huh?
Yes, I am.
Just go to the Bible. Abraham, Sarah, Hagar, Solomon. I mean, how many wives did these men have? Polygamy, poly relationships have always been the norm. They're less frequent today. And women, Abraham and Sarah went and got Hagar for Abraham. That's what a good woman does.
Facts.
Oh, 39 says, you know what? Guess what, Gavin? Don't have that kid yet, but I am down for your program. I'm on your purpose. So let me go holler at the chick with the bonnet on or the thing. Go ahead and get that baby in. That's in your Bible, ain't it?
Let me wait right here. Let me pause it right here. I want to go in. Hold on. Things are going on. Let me go in right here. So look. She said women are desperate for sex. I don't think they're desperate for sex, but I think they're desperate for sexual validation, right? A lot of women are insecure. We know this, so they use sex as a way to validate. I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. Someone wants to screw me. So they'll have a long line of men that want to screw them, and they're desperate to sleep with one of them to get that validation, right? It's not even really about the men anymore. It's about that validation. I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. The proof is all these men want me. And so I think they are desperate for sexual validation. Also, I don't know if men are less patient than before. If you think about it, we are in a time of booming technology. And so that means the people who invented these things had to be patient, work hard to create these things. A lot of women think that patients are just gone, but there's no proof of that in the world because you have to delay gratification in order to do something great. Look at men in sports, look at men in tech, look at men in education, look at men in academia. These are all men who have to be patient to achieve great things. So this idea that men lost patience, not true. Most men have to work hard for long periods of time to become successful. That's the truth. Kevin Samuel asks, what's the difference between today and yesterday's time? Very simple. Yesterday's time, women used to be virgins for their husband. Nowadays, women are being shared by lots of men. Even though they're choosing a select few men to have all the sex with, but ultimately they're being passed around more than they ever have been, right? Women are more sexually liberated, as they call it, or I would say they're more sexually sluttish than they've ever been. And yeah, I don't see the value in that. So let's get right back into it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it would take a strong, sure woman to.
I'm trying to
be
understand, but you just smiled. You didn't say anything. I'm saying that's in the Bible, right?
No.
Right.
I'm not refuting anything that you're saying.
I know 39. I'm asking the other one.
Yeah.
Is that
I know 39.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hey, yo, he called her 39. Hey, yo. Let's start addressing women by their ages. But hey, yo, 42.
I don't know if you're nervous, but the answers you're giving don't seem like you're in today's world. So women are not desperate. And men are less patient. Men are just, what do you mean men are less patient?
It just seems like they're not going to put up with it. Like you said, the higher value guys are not going to settle for those women that have lower value and put them on a pedestal like they want, like the women want. You know what I'm saying? Like they move on because
when did men used to have more patience?
Well, I don't know if it came out wrong. Probably don't mean patience, but just like not sticking around. Guys don't stick around like that no more.
Oh my God.
Ma'am.
Oh my God.
We have in the black community, we have almost a 75%, almost a 72% divorce rate. 90% of divorce actions are initiated by women. How many women do you know? Who do you think leads relationships more? Boyfriend, girlfriend, and/or marriage? Who leads relationships? Is it men or women?
The man in the marriage.
The man leaves the marriage? When
Yeah.
relationships end, when relationships terminate, when somebody ends them, who do you think ends relationships most of the time, men or women?
I think it's both.
No. I said, which one ends most? It's not 50-50.
I don't know. The men?
Poor thing.
Or is it the women?
Ma'am, I just said in our community, with the highest divorce rate, women are initiating 80 to 90% of divorces.
Facts.
You go ask 10 women on the street about their relationships and ask them how many they walked away from or ended versus how many the men did.
Here's what she's doing. So he calls them by their age. So let's call them by the age. 39's on board. 33 said that men are leaving more. I think she's generalizing everything's happening and to her, and she's comparing that to the world. That's not true. She might have always been left because she probably chose wrong. She probably chose dudes that just wanted to hit it and quit it and wondering why people keep quitting me. Why people keep quitting me? I gave him this, I gave him that. Women need to choose better and they need to take responsibility for choosing poorly. She said since she's been a mom, she's been single. Since she gave birth, she's been single. What the? Amazing, right? Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. This is amazing.
So you're saying men are leaving? I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds to me like you're just not out in the world today. Which is, I guess that's something, but
what do you think?
I think you're in trouble. I think you're in trouble. You got a kid. You don't understand what's going on out here.
Ooh,
you don't want
I
to
don't.
Well, the fact of the matter, watch my program. You'll find out a lot. I can't bring you up to speed. But if you have a kid, I will say this. Do you want to have another kid?
No.
Do you want to be married?
At this point, I don't know.
Probably. We don't want to be married today. I just showed it. That's exactly what I just said. I don't want to be married. So
no, I do. I do.
But wait, ask her if she still wants to have sex. I guarantee that's a yes. She says no to marriage, no to kids, but she still wants to be fucked. Make this make sense. And then you mad that no one wants to stay with you. Girl, you don't even want a husband. And you don't want to have more children. So therefore, you don't want to do anything for a husband. But I guarantee you still want to have sex. I think women are devaluing themselves and they don't even know it.
So I asked you if you want to be married. You said at this point, I don't know. But now you say you do. But you do have a kid, a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah, I do want to be married.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I did.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
What's your degree in?
Well, I have a certificate in cosmetology and an MUA in makeup.
So you're going to be an average earner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have the choice not to get married.
Right.
You're too broke to be single.
Ooh.
You need a man.
Ooh.
And I'm not supposed to say that, but yes, to get to the end of life, you don't get there on one income.
Yeah, exactly.
Much less with a child.
You're right.
So
I do.
If that's the case, you better turn around to the world and approach it like you need it, other than whatever world you've been living in, because this conversation ain't connected like somebody who needs a relationship.
Kevin, let me tell you. When I go out there, and I don't know if it's because maybe I'm intimidating or I'm too strong. I mean, I have things going for myself. I have good income, and I have my own place and I have my own car and things. But it just seems like guys don't really like they look at me, but they don't want to like approach me.
We don't care about nothing you just said. Why do we care about your car and your job?
Yep, the oxygen's coming in right here for you.
Why do we care about your car?
You get the normal.
No, I'm just saying that's.
Hey, yo, hold on. We ain't gonna slide past the fact that there was a girl trying to join the live that was at the hospital clout chasing while someone's dying needing oxygen. I know you guys seen that. What the F? What the French toast?
That's what I have. Like I'm not walking. I'm not poor. I'm not living on the street. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not telling you what I have.
You're a single woman, fine, with a child, okay, and you're doing what an adult does. That just makes you functional, okay? Why should a guy approach you? Why should a man approach a functioning woman with a kid? If he wants a relationship in a marriage, why should he approach you?
I don't know. I thought that's what happens.
Oh.
Well, that's part of the problem. You got a kid now, so you got to grow up. You
Mm.
can't just think what happens. You got to know and figure it out because you're supposed to teach it. But guys aren't approaching you. The problem is what? Guys or you?
I think it's me.
There you go. Therapy.
Therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got therapy.
Oh, okay. I can't. Boy, whoo.
Hey, Kevin, you dodged the bullet. Bro, that lady is in a lot of trouble, right? Single since she's given birth. Where's the baby father? Where's the father? And she said men don't approach her, and she thinks men are just supposed to approach her. This is what I'm trying to say. Women feel entitled to male attention, that they're just supposed to get it. They don't got to go to the gym. They don't got to work for it. They don't got to keep themselves up. This chick had a bonnet. I don't know if it's nighttime or during the day. It doesn't matter. She doesn't present herself well to the world. She's going to be seen by millions of people looking crazy, and she just expects men to approach her. And honestly, a lot of this comes from women who been approached since they were young girls their entire life. People keep trying to approach them. They don't realize that men are approaching them for sex and men are approaching everyone, but they assume that this is how men are and men will always be this way. This is why when women get into their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and they feel invisible, they're lost. Like, wait a minute, where all the male attention go? Wasn't all the male attention just supposed to be on me all the time? Wasn't I entitled to it? Wasn't I always going to skip the line at the club? Wasn't I always going to get free drinks? Wasn't men always going to pay for dinner? When are men always going to take me out? And they realize that all that shit starts to slide away. And this is why women long-term, the long-term strategy for women is getting married. It can't be hookup culture. And honestly, if you could avoid hookup culture altogether, you'll be in the best scenario you could be. You have the most leverage. I see women all the time, unfortunately, white women all the time getting married at a young age, and then black women are waiting until they're in their 30s to get married. This is not the way to do it. I know we see people doing this, and I know when it comes to women, it's monkey see, monkey do. Oh, I see her do that. I want to do that too. I get that. But we need to start looking at people that have the success, not the people who just exist in our neighborhoods for guidance on what we need to do. All right? Skip the hookup culture, skip the nonsense, go out there and read. You have a smartphone, go out there, become smart, and know what the hell is going on in this world so you can live your life to the most optimal possibility of achievement.
All right, so and I let that go not to try to be embarrassed, but I want women today are not treating relationships like they're serious. It's like men are just a toy, something to pass the time with, to keep you kind of occupied. It's almost like, have you ever seen a kitten play or a cat play with a ball of yarn or something and then get bored? Well, if you ever see cats, they don't do things for long, they get bored.
Yeah.
And women today seem to treat relationships like, whatever. I'll just have some sex from you, I'll take some DNA from you, and I'll have dinner from you, but I don't want to do any of this too long. I'm getting bored. Let me go find something else. Let me go run up a tree. Let me chase a cricket. Let me chase a squirrel. Let me eat a cricket. Let me do this. I'll some catnip. It's like, and the men are like, how are we supposed to move forward and progress and build the family, then the neighborhood, and the community, and the city, the town, the city, the nation, with women who are just, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And I'll just have babies and whatever. I'll just figure it out. It's just whatever. Men can't walk through the world like that. The world is serious for us. And what men are is frustrated. Go ahead.
Why do you think it happened?
Huh?
And where do you think? I said, what happened? And where in the timeline?
Okay, you start breaking up. Where do I think it happened?
Yeah, where did that shift happen? When did it happen?
Roughly around the late 60s, early 70s, with feminism, third wave feminism. You're breaking up, but you can go back and look. You can go back and look at the late 60s at the height of the civil rights movement. Lyndon Baines Johnson, the Great Society. Feminism was used to kind of blunt the gains of the civil rights movement, because they took the civil rights movement that was impacting the black community, black men and women, raising, and then here come the feminist movement to saying to black women, hey, come join us to get women's rights and equality. And we just came off our own equality fight. So our women went off saying, well, yeah, you know, yeah, we need equality too. The difference is black men ain't have no power over black women to oppress you. You need equality with us. You already had equality. But then you get, you get feminism, the advent of abortion. So women have reproductive choice. You get better contraceptives. And then you start getting more women going to school into the workplace. So basically, black women were chose to take all these gains, education, reproductive choice, and all this stuff. But it did not mean you had to separate from your men. It all happened to all groups of women. Then Title IX came along and women counted more, Title IX affirmative action, and it all culminated in the 80s and 90s when black women were given preferential treatment in hiring decisions and things like that. And the funny part is in Generation X, all the strides that have been made in the black community struggle up through the civil rights movement, Generation X pretty much turned around and said, this is all mine. The baby boomers, and Generation X kind of turned their backs on the familial traditions. And that's what we're kind of grappling with right now, whether they understood the long-term ramifications or whatever, but basically women separated themselves from their men to the point to where I don't need you. No, you don't need me for food, protection, shelter, but you've traded in your physical man for the government institutions, the police, fire, security. That's your man now.
Yeah, we've outsourced. Women nowadays have outsourced masculinity to just the government, right? The government for protection when it comes to police, right? The government for provision when it comes to Section 8 and welfare, right? So we have outsourced it all. And now we're even outsourcing, duties inside the house, by the gig economy, right? So you can get someone to put up your TV, you get someone to paint your house. So we seems like we don't need men anymore, or women don't need men anymore because they can outsource it, right? They don't no longer need their husband to do it. Even though if they got a man, he could do a lot of these things that we're outsourcing, right? The protection, the provision, and homely duties and such. I think what's really fascinating about all this is that it has hit the black community different than any other community, right? You give Section 8 to the blacks and they'll get rid of their husbands, they'll get rid of their boyfriends, they'll keep a man outside the house. You give Section 8 to, let's say, the whites, and what they would do is they'll use it for as long as they need it. Let's say you need it because you're struggling, you need to get off your feet. And then the minute they get a man, done with it, right? And I'm not saying this is all whites. I know there's some poor whites and low-class whites. No. And I'm not saying it's all blacks. I know there's, high-class blacks in the United States. I get it. But I'm just trying to say we're looking at things that are trends in different communities, right? And so, yeah, I think this is really, really sad, really shameful that these things are going on, and that we have women that are becoming mothers and they're not even prepared to be adults, but yet they're the parent for a young child and supposed to help raise that child. And if they don't know what's going on, what the hell are they going to tell the children what's going on? This is why single moms create a lot of the men that are in jail. I know people don't want to talk about this, but it's true. A lot of single moms create school shooters, right? They might not intentionally do it, but listen, any person that doesn't have structure and direction, they're leading them lives to certain chaos. Absolutely.
Employment.
Who gives you a job? Get your money from the job. So what do you need a man for now? Sex. And if you decide you want to reproduce, a baby. But then after that, but you got to ask yourself, why did our women choose to oppose the relationship? Because you don't hear other women saying we don't need no man like black women do. And that can go back down to, there's a lot of people thinking it goes back to the 13th Amendment, white supremacy, racism, generational trauma that had to do with chattel slavery. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but what we cannot do is act like that we don't have a problem. In the 60s, the single birth rate was around 25%. There was a national cry for emergency. Not 8 out of 10 kids are born out of wedlock.
Wow.
Black women are married at a 1 in 4 rate, and it's only declining. And even if you disagree with it, even if people disagree with everything I've ever said, you just gotta ask yourself a question. Does the modern woman, Black woman in particular, really seem to be approaching the relationship market like they really truly want to get married?
Mm.
No, I know you're speaking specifically about the Black woman. I mean, I'm from Canada, so I'm surrounded by a lot of Caucasian women as well, but I find that the same sentiment and the same attitude is prevalent where I am. And so
it can be prevalent, but you also have a culture, an intact culture. We don't. So even men from Mexico, who may be from lower on us socioeconomically, they still have an intact culture where men have a position of power. That men have the position of a patriarchal society, white America, Asian American, Middle Eastern, Black. In this country, Black people have a different thing. And it's a culture thing, because when have Black men ever been on top of the community in Black America? And that's what we're kind of struggling with. What are we going to do? Do we want to look like patriarchal communities like everybody else? Or do you want to submit, and then that means you have to voluntarily cooperate and give up some of your freedom for the benefit of the whole? Sounds good, but most people don't want to give up what they got. That's why
they want to hold.
That's why I talked about this high value thing. It's not that women really want a man making some money, but they want a lifestyle.
Mm.
I run into more women who want to be retired by 45, living on the beach. And I'm just like,
that ain't life.
And at the ultimate point, I'm like, if we're going to have anything, women are going to have to seriously ask themselves, do you want to be married? Because there's an old saying that a nation can rise no higher than the moral position of its women. So I'm looking at women, and I'm like, well, how are you women approaching relationships? And for most, it's a game or a joke. It's funny. And I think that people misunderstand and see what I do in the back and forth, and they take the sound bites, not understanding that this is the straw. Women are the straw which we make bricks. And I ask women, are you as serious as your grandmother was at your age? Oh no. Well, then what the fuck? How are we supposed to get anywhere as men if women aren't taking it seriously?
But it's interesting when you mention that we are not thinking of whole, we're all thinking so individual. So when individuals are coming together, you know, even when you're looking at a marriage, it's like, well, what am I getting out of it? As opposed to what are we going to be building to reach a common objective, right? And so divorce rates also, you know, in the background being very dark, and they are high, it's almost like people are almost planning for the eyes of the relationship as opposed to putting all of their effort into.
Well, the sad part is in the West, hyper-individualism penalizes women more at the end of life than it does men. Because if it's all about me, what am I going to get out of it? Cool. But whether it don't matter about the education or whatever, at the end of the day, Black men earn more than Black women. And you can have a PhD education, but the numbers tell the story. And the bottom line is, if 75% of our women are earning less than $50,000, and you're not getting married, so you don't have two families, a nuclear family and extended family, no Western civilization is set up to care for individual aged people. So what's going to happen? We're about to start seeing a lot of single spinsters, and there is no. It's not going to look pretty, because you know what happens to men who can't afford to take care of themselves? They don't get to go to the government and petition for more benefits. They end up on the street. And that's what you're starting to see. The largest group of first-time homeless is women, and women with children.
That's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Women are becoming homeless just because they want a lifestyle, not the men. So they ignore the good men. They chase after the super high value men trying to get a lifestyle. They chase after these jobs trying to get a lifestyle. And what happens? You got all this money. You got no man. You're on the beach. Come on now. What is that? You know, what is that? That's not a life, but some people think this is the life they're trying to live. All right, I'm going to stop it right here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel is blowing up. We're trying to go like this. You know, as far as subscribers, trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. Just trying to get to 1,000 now. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate you guys. If you want me to make live videos like Kevin Samuels and give women this type of feedback, which I don't mind doing, I'm a little different because I don't live like Kevin Samuels. I'm a lot younger than he is. But I have a lot of the same attitudes that he does, right? So let me know what days work best for you guys. Is it Fridays? Is it Saturdays? Is it Thursdays? Whatever day. And I'm going to make a live schedule soon. Until then, we'll talk, people. Playboys, I'm out.